My daughter's Hadley Hannah. She was very spirited, independent, loving. She loved to give hugs.
I'm Lila Bonner's mom, and she was the heartbeat of our family.
She was my best friend.
My daughter's Abby. She loved to make all of us laugh.
My daughter is Seal. Seal's a natural leader.
She cared more about other people's feelings than her own.
Mary Barrett was our first daughter.
I was so proud to walk into a room and point her out and say that she was mine.
I was so proud to be Virginia's father. She was trying to make her dad proud to be a good golfer and cowgirl.
Anytime we walked by a piano, like, she would want to play for people.
Molly was our youngest of two girls. She would give 100% of the time.
She had the biggest, purest heart.
These beautiful young girls are just 7 of Heaven's 27, taken too soon from their loving families and their bright futures at a place their parents all treasured, Camp Mystic.
I know from some of you that it was a place of great happiness when you were young.
I went to Mystic for at least 12 years as a camper and a counselor. She saw the friendships that I made.
A place where their parents trusted they would be safe.
When I dropped her off, I had told her it's the safest place on earth. We talk about this being your worst nightmare. This was not a nightmare I had.
You are in a little bit of a different situation because Seal is still missing. And I know that must be the most horrific agony.
Every phone call, every text, your heart stops because you hope it's news that they've found your child.
Now, just 2 months after their little girls left this earth on July 4th, they've come together, united in their grief and outrage, to make sure something like this never happens again.
Watching you all from afar in the depths of your grief advocate on behalf of my kids who go to camp here in Texas and everybody else's kids has been truly remarkable.
It became very, very clear that this wasn't an accident, this was complacency, and it is 100% preventable.
What's being laid out in this bill should be the bare minimum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For what these camps should be looking to implement.
Last month, many of these brave families testified before the state's Senate in support of a new bill called the Heaven's 27 Camp Safety Act, which would create sweeping new safety requirements for youth camps and campgrounds all across Texas. Through tears and anger, they spoke directly to lawmakers.
Our daughters deserved better, and future campers deserve better.
122 ayes and 8 nays. Senate Bill 1 passes.
On Wednesday, the bill was passed in the state capitol in Austin. On Friday, it's expected to be signed into law.
We would have been doing a massive disservice to our daughters for not running with this and seeing this through.
I think is sometimes hard to understand about Texas, but it's like the smallest big state. Carrie and I actually met in 3rd grade. We went to the same church where you buried Hadley. How is your faith, how has she helped kind of guide this unimaginable process for you?
We've gone to church. It's one of the only places I've gone. I think because she loved her church, and I think for us it's been important to continue going for her. We've all kept our faith and relied on God.
These families now honoring their daughters by using their voices to protect future generations.
I feel like we've all gotten so close. I guess a bright light in the midst of all the grief and darkness.
At least for Elizabeth and I, we sometimes say, man, I hope we never forget about what Molly was like. And the Heaven's 27 family is a way for us to never, ever let the world forget these girls.
Hadley, Seal, Mary Barrett, Molly, Virginia, Lila, and Abby. 7 beautiful girls that will continue to make an impact on the world.
Our girls' legacy was not that they died in vain. Our girls' legacy is that this, again, is a catalyst for change.
I mean, when you think about how fast they've mobilized and how they rely on each other as a family that they never wanted to be part of, but they said, like, this grief it could not stand, but at least they have each other.
Right.
It's unbelievable, and this bill will maybe, possibly be signed into law on Friday, and they think probably.
Not only did they galvanize their grief for change, the speed with which they did that.
And it shows you that change is possible. Even in a polarized country, change is possible.
Yep.
It's remarkable. We should mention Camp Mystic said in a statement, the safety and well-being of every camper is our priority, and our policies and practices are designed to ensure a safe and supportive environment. They've also come out in support of that legislation that help makes camps safer. Guys, the families talked a lot about those counselors.
Yes.
There were 2 counselors in that cabin who are 18 years old. They should be Chloe should be at the University of Texas starting her year. And they said, we have no doubt they were singing songs to our girls, trying to protect them. They also want to thank the countless first responders. And in the case of little Seal, who is still missing, they are still working to find her. And they said that they said until we find her, we will not go home. By the way, many of these people are working with no pay, are just volunteering to bring a little girl home to her.
You said some of them were SEALs wearing?
Yeah, they have Navy SEALs for SEAL, and they are working tirelessly and have promised that they will not leave until her body has been recovered and taken back to her family.
I love what your friend Carrie said about faith. I can't imagine getting through any of this without strong faith.
And all of them said something to that extent, looking for signs, seeing their daughters in the pink sky. And
we all have kids that age bracket too.
Well, that's why I think the story made, such news, was that we can all imagine.
JBH, thank you.
Thank you.
That was a remarkable conversation.
Hey, thanks for watching. And don't forget, you can catch the Today Show every morning on NBC or take Today when you're on the go. Just follow the Today podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen.